I had the privilege to stay with Maharaj in the same city when Maharaj was the head of one of our centers in Ranchi, that is a very famous hospital center, and Maharaj was the head of that center. There was another center which was involved in rural activity in the same city in Ranchi. I happened to be the other center, the rural activity, they had taken up. So I was there in the same city, and we used to go, and from then on I felt a tremendous, I would say, motherly attitude of Maharaj. Very pleasant personality. If you have any opportunity to come very closer to Maharaj, you can find what kind of pleasant and soothing personality Maharaj is having, with lot of anxiety, stress, pain, and if you would come to closer to Maharaj, then you can find with very beautiful divine smile and pleasant address. I think as it were, he absorbs everything from very calm, soothing personality. So we are fortunate. Right now, Maharaj is the head of our Dublin Centre. It is a new center in Ireland where Sister Nivedita, the disciple of Swami Vivekananda, Margaret Noble, her house was situated. So Ramakrishna, I think this year or last year, happened to be the 150th birth anniversary of Sister Nivedita. Last year. So on that occasion, the Ramakrishna order, they adopted or they took the center of the Ireland, and Maharaj has been posted as the head of that center. So I offer my pranam, respectful pranam to Maharaj again. This evening, Maharaj would speak on Swami Vivekananda and the modern world. Only 2 or 3 days ago, a devotee came from Washington DC to visit Berkeley Center, and she was informing me that she attended Maharaj's lecture in Washington DC, and she was informing it's a wonderful lecture. And I said Maharaj is coming on Sunday. So I don't waste time. I request Maharaj to address together.
Oh. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. हरि ओम. ओम नमो भगवते श्री रामकृष्णाय. Brother Prasannatmananda ji and dear devotees and my dear children, I am really pleased to be at San Jose to meet all of you at this fine evening. It has been a great blessing for me in getting delayed for my Irish visa. I was very eager to go there, but then there are many rules, in the governmental side. So my Irish visa is delayed. So I thought, where should I spend that time? Then I remembered that several centers in US had invited me to speak. I thought, why not I take up those duties of coming and meeting the devotees and speaking. But then my idea of coming to US had a different purpose. I thought it is a pilgrimage to come to US, where our dear Swami Vivekananda had come. He visited many places, and some of the places I could touch during this visit. In 2017 also I came to US, but could go from Washington to the eastern side. Till Chicago I went. But then this side I thought, let me come to the western side. Because the country is so vast, you can't finish it in 1 week or 2 weeks. You require a lot of time. Even now, I am staying in San Francisco Center, and Maharaj was really sore that I could not stay in Berkeley Center. Because there was no time for me. I told him, if Sri Ramakrishna wills, I will definitely come and stay and spend at least 1 week here and meet the devotees, if needed, individually also. We will have some time. So, this center, I found it very nice atmosphere. When I reached Berkeley, I could feel the presence of Holy Mother there. Of course, she is sitting in the middle, and I felt it wonderful to see Holy Mother, and I felt that type of love and affection emanating from my dear younger brother. Of course, he told you in the introduction, we were together in the same city of Ranchi. If you have been living in Calcutta, and if you come to know somebody is going to Ranchi, then Calcuttans will definitely smile, So he was also posted and I was also posted. So we met there, and at that time itself, something was telling me that this Maharaj is not going to be in Ranchi for long. He would be definitely drawn to US, because there is a purpose, you see, for everyone. We are all born with a purpose. Only thing, we may not know the purpose. But the life cycle will take us from one place to another and make us feel at one point of time, I have got my purpose now. So that experience most of us have. So he has come here, is what was very good news for me. I congratulated him for his getting posted at US, and later I was posted from Ranchi to South Africa. I'm happy to tell you 3 devotees have come with me from South Africa. They look like Indians, but mentally they are South Africans, So if you stay in a place for a long time and then go back to your country, even your country people say, hey, this man has come from America and he speaks like an American, they will say. So in the same way, they are also South Africans. And it was wonderful to go to South Africa because varied experiences in life bring you certain wisdom. How do we gain knowledge? My topic today was given as Swami Vivekananda and the modern world. I just briefly introduce you to the theme of this topic. We say modern world and the connection of Swami Vivekananda to the modern world. That is what we are going to discuss. But which period of the time that you consider as modern, that question comes up first. Because first we have to specify, what do you mean by modern world? Do you mean which century you consider as modern world? Suppose today is 1st January 1600. So 1st January 2018 will be a future date. Is it not? So at that time, 1st January 1600, that is the 17th century, would be the modern world. So the modern world is denoted with a particular period in connection with something else. So every period is a modern world, but then when you are sitting in 2018, can you say 1600 is a modern world? You can't. Neither you can say 2018, 2028 as a modern world. That has not yet come. So, in connection with what we shall specify a period as modern world. That has to be first finalized. Then only we can bring Swami Vivekananda into that. But then already the topic says Swami Vivekananda and the modern world. So I would broadly go with this feeling that from the birth of Swami Vivekananda, I would consider that period as the modern world. Because we have to see the relevance of Vivekananda to the modern world. We are not seeing, say, Gautam Muni's relevance to the modern world. So we are seeing Vivekananda's relevance to the modern world. So Vivekananda's relevance cannot be traced to a period before he was born. That is obvious. So naturally, we have to connect the modern world and specify the modern world as after the birth of Vivekananda. Once we decide what is modern world, in contrast to the old world. So, whatever time that you can specify before the birth of Vivekananda, we can categorize it as old world. And the period that has started from Vivekananda's birth, we can categorize it as the modern world. Now, if that is clear, if all of you agree with me, I can proceed.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So now you see this modern world, what has happened to the modern world? Vivekananda was born in 1863. And 1963, 100 years gone. So in 2063, we are going to have 200 years. Does Vivekananda remain relevant? Is a question mark. Thank you. Does he has any force now? Is a question that crops up. There are several intellectuals, I should say, they write essays and articles in newspapers and magazines, and some of them say that Vivekananda is no more relevant. You know, you must have read those type of articles. It always comes. So those who do not see eye to eye with Vivekananda, they will say Vivekananda is a old. He is no more relevant to the modern world. What are the points of objection to bring Vivekananda to the modern world? I will quote a few. One objection of them is, was there any computer during Swamiji's time? It was not there. So how Swamiji can be made relevant to a modern computer world? They put this question. And in his time, there was no plane. He all traveled all over the world by ships, you know that. So, the travel has become so wonderful nowadays. Within 1-2 days, you can move around to 3-4 continents. So, in this present fast-paced world, Vivekananda becomes irrelevant. Likewise, I'm just giving you 2 examples. Likewise, they go on telling us that Vivekananda need not be studied, Vivekananda is not relevant, etc. So these thoughts affect our generation. When you are knowing that Vivekananda's ideas are necessary for the modern world, at that time somebody comes and tells us they are irrelevant, and that is put to the modern generation. And now where the world is going to, that becomes our concern. In the modern world, let us take the state of education. I should say, in 200 years before, when Vivekananda was born, before him there was a great man in Bengal. His name was Éire Chandra Vidyasagar. Do you know that Vidyasagar alone created 238 schools in Bengal only? He created one-man schools. One teacher, one school. So more than 230 schools he created so that the children can read. But they were not big schools. But today, compared to that, almost every village we have a school. We have buildings for the schools. India is not in the 18th century. In the 21st century of India has got greatly developed. Why not India alone, I should speak? Because Vivekananda is relevant to the modern world, we say. So think of other countries. For instance, South Africa. In South Africa history, if you see the education, our Indian forefathers who went there, they started their own schools because government refused to open schools. Only whites can have schools. That was the policy there. It was called apartheid. You must have read in history. When apartheid was there, so our Indians could not have schools, blacks could not have schools. But Indians established their own schools and taught our children. And then Indians grew up so fast because they had education. Today in South Africa, the topmost surgeon, if you want to consider, an Indian name will come. Go to the IT sector, you will find an Indian name. They are all South Africans, mind you, but they are all born and brought up South African, and originally the origin is Indian. Why? Because they studied. I am happy to tell you, one Mr. Barry has come with me. He is a deputy principal of a school. He was telling me how many interior villages in South Africa, now the schools have come. Plenty of schools. Education, there is an explosion in the education field. Multiple schools have come. Good schools have come. So education field, if you take, compared to the 2 centuries before, now there is ample opportunity for anyone to study. Even those Indian children who come to America for higher studies, they find their universities. They go to universities and join. Berkeley University is one of the finest examples. where so many Indians come and study. When I was in Ireland, I saw how the Trinity College there has been attracting students from India. Several Indian students are there who are studying there for post-graduations and PhDs. So, there is an explosion in education. That education has become accessible. Every government in any country you see makes accessible this particular education to the modern world. Yes, I am very happy at the situation that education is accessible. But do we understand what is education? If you see our children growing up with having secular education, where they are going? In some of the centers, you get all devotees above the age of 60. I ask, where are the 20s and 30s people? Swamiji, they don't have time. They don't want to come to ashram. They are busy in their work and their recreations. So education has been obtained, but where it has led to, it has divested the important spiritual component of life from your life. So you have become well educated, but have you become a good person? I tell you, in Maharashtra, there is a place called Bhima Shankar. Bhima Shankar is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. Many people go on pilgrimage. I went there. And after doing the puja at the temple, where the pujari went away at that time, he said, Babaji, aap khud kar lijiye puja. I said, okay, theek hai, main khud kar lunga. So I did the puja myself. And then came out and stand sitting there on the stairs. One young lady, about 30-year-old, she came. She was wearing the typical Marathi style of wearing sari. So she was there. And she was just passed over, and then she looked at me. Then she asked me, Babaji, aapne khana khaya? She asked. Did you take food? She asked. Father? Baba means father. Father, did you take food? I said, no, I have not taken food. And I will take later. I was thinking after 1 hour, 2 hours. Because I have got money in my pocket, 300 rupees. I said, I can go to any shop, small shops were there. I can go and take, puri and halwa. Like that I am thinking. But then this lady said, come with me. Mere saath aao. And then she started walking fast. Unlettered lady. She has not gone to school also. And she has just walked fast. And I am thinking, should I go with her or not? And after going some time, some space, then she just turned. And she saw still I am sitting on the steps. She got so angry. She said, Babaji, humne bulaya tum utha nahi? Utho. When she said utho, I remembered Swamiji's statement, utho jago. So I just got up and then I went with her. And when I went up the hill, there is a small thatched house. Outside 2 children were playing. I was a little happy. Children are there. Okay. Then I took the children inside and sat and I was playing with the children. There are so many things you can play with the children. Just now I asked the names of 2 children here. And they were so smilingly, they replied to me. So you can play with the children. I was playing with them. In the meantime, the lady went to the other side of the house. It was a thatched separation. There is a separator was there. So she went that. And then I was sitting this side, playing with the children, 1 hour over. And then she came from there, put me the shal gach leaf, shal leaf we call it. And then she sat with me. She gave me hot roti and aloo dum and dal. Like my mother, who used to sit with me when I used to eat as a young boy, she sat next to me and she was feeding me. Babaji, aur thoda dal le lo. You take little more dal. You take little more vegetable. Like that she was feeding me. I was very pleased. She has fed me now, and then she asked some spiritual questions. What we know, we have read only Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda and Holy Mother. So whatever I knew from the gospel, I told the reply as Ramakrishna has used to give with examples. The same examples I gave her, and she was very happy. And she said, Babaji, you explained so well to me. Which mutt you belong to? I said, I belong to Ramakrishna mutt. She's stunned. She's got up, went inside and brought a photo of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was there. He has called me to that he would feed me, and he has fed me so sumptuously. I was so happy. I took the 300 rupees and I just extended to her. Mother, here is the 300 rupees. And this is a thatched house, poor, poverty-ridden house. I thought these rupees may come to some help of this family. I gave her. What did she do? Uneducated lady. She should have accepted it. Instead of that, with her left hand, with 2 fingers, she took that money. As if, when you do like this, suppose you don't want to touch this. It's full of dirt and something. So you do like this. Is it not? In the same way, she picked up my notes and threw it like that. And she is asking, Babaji, आप क्या समझ कर रखा है? ये क्या होटल है? I was just fell from the heaven. She asked me, Father, what did you think? Is this a hotel that you are paying me for the food that I ate? She said, for the last 10 days, there was no Atiti in my house. I am going to Bhima Shankar ji. He is my Ishta Devata. I am telling Lord Shiva, hey Shiva, you have never come to my home. I want you to come to my home, but you never come. So far nobody has come. Today I prayed to Shiva and came out of the temple. I saw you sitting, so I invited you. Do you think I fed you? No, I did not feed you. I fed my chosen ideal, Lord Shiva, who has come in this form today. Did she have PhDs? You go around and you see people who are well read, mastered. They don't even ask you a glass of water. Would you take water? What happened to Swamiji? When Swamiji came to Almora, scholars came to him. One by one, scholars are discussing with him on high Vedanta philosophy. 12 hours gone. One Muslim, poorest man, a cucumber seller, he was sitting there watching. Swamiji has not eaten anything. He came after everybody had gone. He came, Swamiji, आप तो कुछ खाया नहीं ऐसा लग रहा है, मेरे पास कुकुम्बर है, आप लेंगे? He gave him. You see, he may be unpad, he may be uneducated, but what was the spiritual force that Atiti Devo Bhava, we say. Who is Atiti? Who comes to you without any fixing Titi. He is called Atiti. If I write to you and take appointment and then come to your home and eat, I am not your Atiti. Because I have fixed appointment. But no Titi should be there. Without fixing appointment, I come to you, and that Atiti Devo Bhava. Consider that Atiti as God Himself. Does this culture still there? Two brothers. One brother, I asked him, hey, your brother came yesterday. It was so nice to meet him. When did you visit him last? No, Swami, I cannot visit him just like that. I said, why? Because I have to take appointment. It's a modern culture. So why can't you have problems galore when you are behaving with your own brother and seeking appointment for him to come and meet you? Why can't you be free to ask him, yes, come anytime? In South Africa, when I used to go with the devotees, suddenly I am going by a area. Say for instance like this San Jose area here, come. Then I remember one devotee here staying here. I would tell the devotee, hey, take the car now, let us go there. That devotee would say, no, Swami, we cannot go just like that. We don't have any appointment. But in India, in Ranchi, when I was there, I would just go to Ranchi. So I will see some area, say Hinu area has come. I'll just drop in there, Hinu area. Hello, ma, how are you? Hello, sir, how are you? Just have a cup of tea and then come. So we could go like that. But that is not possible. As you are getting educated more and more, you become more and more bound with the rules and regulations. So the heart to heart is gone. Everybody has got cell phone, no doubt. In the modern world, we have cell phone. Are we connected? We say, yeah, well connected. But with whom? With strangers you are well connected, not with your own people. Think of that one whole family sitting together and the television is on and each one is busy with his own telephone, not even looking at the program. Not even talking to each other. Husband and wife sitting with two telephones. Children are there with two telephones. Visitors have come. One old lady in South Africa, she used to say, Maharaj, I don't go to any relation's house. I said, why? Because all are busy with the telephone or TV. Nobody talks to me. Why should I go? Where is the connection? Here comes that 30-year-old Swami Vivekananda who came to US. He bombarded the people with his message. What he said, you must have the connection. Do you feel for others? He raised this question. Do you feel for somebody who is sick? Do you feel for somebody who is illiterate? Do you feel? That is what he asked. We don't feel. That feeling is gone. Intellect has grown. Where is the feeling? Another instance I can quote you. When this modern computer world, today, while coming, our Ashish was very kind enough to take me to Google. And I saw the Google building. Of course, I didn't get down. I saw the Google building, Apple building, all those top companies. And then it just, so this is a place where technology has come. In 1936, when the atom bomb was thrown on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that bomb concept was made in the lab in this place. So education led you to destroy a country, not to bind the country. Here Swami Vivekananda comes and says that, as Mother told us, everyone, no one is stranger to you. With love you can conquer. And today's world, Vivekananda's teaching are more important to us when you see the terrible atrocities going on in different world in the name of politics, in the name of democracy, in the name of religion, and in the name of caste, and so on. So, everything will utilize you to make you down under me, to make you slave of me, not to make you divine. Because we forgot the teaching that each soul is potentially divine. If you open complete verse, page after page, Swamiji is hitting one teaching. And what is that teaching which comes prominently? And it is this teaching, each soul is potentially divine. You are divine. You are none other than divinity. If I know you are divine, how much wonderfully I should be able to meet with you. How much wonderfully I should be able to love. Because I see divinity in that Aditi, I could feed, that lady told me. If I could see divinity with him, I would embrace him as my younger brother. When I was a young brahmachari in Kanpur, my Mahant Maharaj was Swami Prema Rupananda ji. Some of the elders might have seen him also. Prema Rupanji was the manager of Belur Math also. Later he became assistant manager. Later he became the head of Jairam Bhatti Center. If you had gone to Jairam Bhatti in those days, you would have seen him. He was the head of the center, and I am a brahmachari, just joined. I have gone to bring some books from the railway station in a cycle rickshaw, big packets, and I am sitting over the packet, and the cycle rickshaw brought me at 3 o'clock noon. And I went to the kitchen. Outside kitchen there is a table and chair where those brahmachari and monks who go out when they come late, for them the food is served there. So the plate is covered and kept. When I entered, my plate was there. Next to that, another plate also was there. I was worried. Oh, somebody else must have gone, so he has not yet come. So I cannot wait for whoever comes earlier, he takes. So I opened my plate and started eating. Then I saw tuck, tuck, tuck sound. I looked back and Swami Premarupanji, the head of the center, elderly person, he was walking slowly and came and sat with me. And I thought he just wanted to inquire perhaps whether I got the parcel, etc. But then he opened the plate, he started eating. I said, Maharaj, did you go out anywhere? He said, no. Then why is delayed? 12:30 the bell goes, you must have eaten at the time. He said, my son, how can I eat when you have gone out and you have not eaten? So young you are, you have not eaten. I see Ramakrishna in the temple, and the same Ramakrishna should I not see in my brothers? How can I eat without you? You see the love and affection. Do we have that love and affection now? That's why we repeat. We tell all the monks' conference when we say this organization is still surviving and it is flourishing because of the love and affection that each monk has to show to his own brothers and the devotees and the wide outside world. If that love is emanating from you and it is embracing everyone, that is the policy of Swamiji. He said, love, love, love. 3 times he said. You must take everyone into your fold. And that is what our Ramakrishna monks do anywhere they go. Can you imagine a boy studied well and staying in India, suddenly was posted to US and the Maharaj has come? How much anxieties would be there? We have seen our young children coming from India to stay in US. How much anxiety you all have had when you came as a young person. But we don't have any anxiety. We go to a new place. Like I am going to Dublin. That's a new place. I don't know the devotees. I don't know anybody. But then I agree to go. Because once you go there, the love that you have will come out and that will make everyone at ease and they can feel with me. So in modern world, we are growing one-sided, not multi-sided. That is what is concerned for us. While Swamiji says that put yourself in the mold of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was never one-sided. He himself says, have you seen if you go to Dakshineswar temple, there is a Nahabat where Holy Mother stayed. But originally Nahabat was made for some other purpose. On the top, the musicians will come with the Shanai and they will play Shanai when the Arati goes on of Mother Kali. See, that was the purpose. So Ramakrishna has very minutely observed when the man is playing Shanai, another man is sitting next to him, half of the size of the instrument, and he was only doing po. There is no raga, no raga ragini is there. But the man who was wielding the Shanai instrument, he is playing all the ragas. But the other man is giving only the Shruti. It is called Shruti. You know, in harmonium you keep Shruti and then sing. So he was only giving Shruti. And Sri Ramakrishna says, I am not like that man who gives only the po. I enjoy raga raginis. I enjoy the varieties. How wonderfully he puts it. The varieties are there. In this world, we are all different. The varieties are there. That's why it is enjoyable. If all of us became one-sided, then will that be all right? So Raga Raginis represents the different temperaments of us. All the different temperaments we have. We have Karma Yoga, we have Raja Yoga, we have Bhakti Yoga, we have Jnana Yoga. All the 4 yogas should be, what Swamiji uses the word, you see, harmoniously blend. That is what he says. Not haphazardly. Harmoniously. Bring all the 4 yogas into your life and put together harmoniously and put it in the mold of Ramakrishna. Then you come out so beautiful picture, so beautiful statue. Because your personality is blended harmoniously with the 4 types of temperaments. That was spearheaded by Swami Vivekananda. A time was there before Vivekananda, people used to go run to Himalayas and do tapasya. Swamiji said, not necessary. You can stay in your home, you can continue your tapasya. Can you sacrifice everything for the sake of Lord? For the Lord I am doing this puja, for the Lord I am sacrificing this. My children are born because of the Lord's grace. And I am offering to Lord what I can offer. Do this in your home. You don't need to go to Rishikesh. You don't need to go to Himalayas. See, the same tapasya that our forefathers did by going to different places have been brought at the very house of us. It is the grace of Ramakrishna. I consider Ramakrishna came to this world apart from all those dharma, arthas, etc. Okay, one simple fact I tell our householder devotees, he came to simplify religion. No complicated religion. Not asking you to do tapasya, not asking you to do chant different hymns whole day. No. Make your life as simple as possible. And that is what Ramakrishna came to us. So Vivekananda's ideas in different situations, I am telling as that different situation you take up, you yourself can take up. I am not a good orator because I can't go on speaking. I always like our participation of the devotees in my talks. So I just ask some of you or any of you who can add to any idea of Swamiji that can be put into practice in the modern world. Can anyone add? I gave you 2 examples. Come out and you speak and we shall discuss that. Let us start with Shakuntala. Stand up and say something. If you stand up, everybody can see you. Tell one idea of Swamiji that can be practicable to the modern world, relevant to the modern world. You all must have thought of. I know you all know that. Okay, she has passed.
He said he has it.
Yes, he has something. Okay, after you can start. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell your name.
My name is Krish.
Krish.
I am a PhD student at Berkeley.
Okay.
And then my guru is sitting there.
Okay.
The Me Too movement is a big movement here. Me Too movement. Swamiji, you have heard that?
I've heard about that.
Okay. So, I felt calling out right away in the beginning, saying that, my dear brothers and sisters, will stop the Me Too movement in some way, I guess. So that's the model, I think.
I see. So, when Swamiji addressed the Parliament of Religions in Chicago, the first 5 words became very, very important in the history. And next day, all the newspapers wrote about Vivekananda only. And the reason quoted there is because Swamiji addressed the huge gathering as sisters and brothers of America. Only 5 words. In what way he considers everyone as his own? Did he learn from Ramakrishna? Did he learn from Holy Mother? Can you think that Swamiji's life in his childhood age, when his father was a great advocate and he was a lawyer, and in his chamber there were several hookahs were there. Hindu hookah, Islam hookah, Christian hookah. You know, in Bengali they used to take hookah. So they used to take, the hookah is a, what do you call that in English? Huh? Pipe where you take smoke, you know, that pipe. So, Habli bubbly, yes. It's called Habli bubbly. So that hookah was there. That little young boy, he thought, he went and took that first Hindu hookah and he smoked. And then he went and took that Islamic hookah. And then he went and took the Christian hookah. Then he is asking himself, what religion I belong to now? Does that Hinduism has gone? No, he did not know, he did not make any change. You see, that was that experimental, that scientific mind of Swami Vivekananda. That young age, he experimented. And I tell you, one incident written by Mary Louise Burke in her, the Gargi's book, in that wonderful New Discoveries. She says Vivekananda stood at the balcony where the bridge was there in New York Station. He was standing there looking around, and then hundreds of people are moving around. And next to him, a lady was standing, and she is asking, Swamiji, you are enjoying the different people. In those days, the women have different types of dresses, not like the present one. So they had big buff hair, you know, all those things we see in the photos, the old American photos you can see different types of dresses. So that, are you getting joy of seeing these different people? He became very grave. He looked at that lady and said, what? I am seeing the same consciousness, Chaitanya, manifesting in these different kinds of people. There are blacks going, whites going, and then people with a different stature. Children are going, women are going, men are walking, and each one is different and different dress. I am seeing the same Chaitanya manifesting in different forms and walking in this road. That is oneness. Vedanta's first core philosophy of Vedanta is the oneness of the humanity. And Swamiji experienced that oneness of the humanity. So when he said sisters and brothers, it was not mere attractive term. It was coming out from his heart. And he experienced that oneness. That's why immediately 6,000 people sitting and standing there clapped for not less than 2 minutes, as the history says. 2 minutes clapping going on. And Vivekananda did not know what for they are clapping. He's just looking, surprised. What is happening here? What did I say to something to get such claps? And later he said that oneness, he felt one with the entire humanity. Can we feel that humanity? We can't feel even with our own brothers. Swami Paramananda's book, he quotes an incident from Christ's life. Christ was standing in a synagogue and looking at a man coming very fast, and on the altar he keeps a basket and full of gift for the God. He kept it, and then Christ was standing there looking at him. Christ called him, "Come, my dear, take it away." That man got upset. "Who are you to tell me to take it away? I have bought a gift for God." Said, "God will not accept this gift." Said, "Why do you say?" "Because go first to your home, settle your quarrel with your brother, then come with the gift, he will accept." What a beautiful teaching of Christ, you see. Paramanandaji quotes. So, that oneness, that is what we require. When you come to this congregation, we do not make any distinction of whether you are a South Indian, or you are a North Indian, or you are a Bengali, or you are an American. Today morning, I was speaking on the glory of Goddess, because from tomorrow Navaratri begins. So I spoke about that. And I said that, what a wonderful way. I saw different kinds of people sitting there. Do we find difference among them? No. That trying to cultivate that idea that oneness of the humanity is important, and that is Swamiji's teaching. Yes, now? Your turn now. Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. I'm actually asking because I know her name, that's why I told her. I don't know any other name, so I'm not able to say. And she is very much relieved now.
Actually, you like you're talking inspired me to speak out a few words. Please forgive me. My intellectuality, it kind of shows any of it. My name is Pinaki, and so I just remember a few snaps. Swamiji is going to Holy Mother's house on the Ganges, and he was continuously taking the water and drinking it, and telling his brother, "I'm going to her. I need to be pure." Thakur told all the time that Swamiji is the purest form. Who give him anything, all the food from other people, you guys don't eat, give it to him. He can digest it. But at the same time, when he's coming here to the US, he was consuming all the different types of foods and everything. But so from all these things, all these diverse aspects of his life, the thing that really strikes me, there's an earthquake somewhere else, and he wakes up, and he feels something.
Wonderful, yes.
I think the word for that maybe is empathy. So Swamiji is relevant, and will be relevant till the mankind exists, because mankind is built on not knowledge, not lack of knowledge, but empathy.
Very good. Thank you, Pinaki. Give him a clap. Yes. Pinaki touched a very good point when you say about the feeling of oneness. He quoted a very incident. Some of you may not know the incident. I'll tell you that. In the middle of the night, Swamiji came out from his room and walking on the balcony. And down below, Swami Vijnanananji, Vigyan Maharaj, was there. He heard Swamiji walking up and down. So he slowly went by the steps and he looked at Swamiji. And Swamiji was in a grave mood. And he was weeping. Not weeping, merely crying. And Vigyan Maharaj, when he went near him, Swamiji embraced him. And he says, and shedding tears. So Vigyan Maharaj asked, "Brother, what has happened to you? Why are you crying?" He said, "Somewhere, something has happened. Thousands of people are dead. I could not sleep in my room." It is not the news you hear now and then after that you feel the empathy. I would go one step above the empathy level. Empathy comes when you know somebody is suffering. Here, he doesn't know. Miles after miles beyond, in Fiji, there is a volcano, and the volcano has erupted and thousands of people are dead. And sitting in Calcutta, near Calcutta, in Belur Mat, Swamiji is crying for those people. Next day only the news comes. But the day before, Swamiji started crying. This is a step higher. That's what we want to say, that, that how do you feel for others? Do you feel for others? He again and again asks us. We do not feel. I tell our congregation in South Africa, I used to say, you people are sitting in sofa set, nicely arranged in a house, and there is a big television screen, and you are seeing some news. Suddenly, and everyone is having ice cone, ice cream, and you are tasting the ice cream. And you are asking, how is the ice cream? So wonderful, tasty. Everybody is enjoying the ice cream. At that time, the news changes. Suddenly, there is an accident, a railway accident in Bhopal. 86 people killed, and the dead bodies are being taken out. You can see. Will you be able to enjoy your ice cream? I could put this question to my congregation. Do you want to enjoy at that time ice cream? Or just keep it and see the news and feel for them? Do you feel for them? Suppose you sit there and go on enjoying your ice cream. What does that show? It is only picture. It is not directly happening before you, but it was a picture, photos, a video. But still, seeing the difficulty of people, should not your heart must feel? So this is what I asked the question. So that empathy comes when you know that somebody is suffering. That empathy must come within you. See, these things can come only by sadhana. You improve yourself and start feeling the oneness of the universe. So it is very necessary for us to do all types of sadhanas. That's why gurus are there. And that's why instructions are given to devotees. Anyone else? Yes? Yes.
One of the things I would like to add is that, as you mentioned, in the modern world, we are going after happiness in the objective world. Like I have a cell phone, and I go for higher and higher version of cell phone. My neighbor buys a Tesla, I start feeling, okay, why don't I have Tesla? I also have to go for Tesla. So one of the things Swami mentioned that we, in the Western world, we are going after too far into the objective world for happiness. In the Eastern world, we traditionally used to look inside the world for happiness, right?
Yes.
And Swamiji was the first one. He said you need to merge the two.
Yes.
East and West culture, like Sattvic and the Rajasic, need to be merged together. So that was one of the modern
wonderful, yes.
that he brought into.
Yes, yes. He never decried the modern technological development. There are people in India itself, saints, who are not willing to adopt any type of modernity, either in their dress or in their speeches or in their whatever it is. But then here is one, a young man of Bengal who came onto this world and started telling us that modernity is required, technological improvement required. After seeing America, when he went back, he said, we have to bring technology to India, and we are not beggars. We have to give back something to America, and that is spirituality. So spirituality must be handed over to Western countries because they did not know that. So you have to take for technology from them, equal status. That is what he wanted, and that is a very good idea. Thank you for that, adding to that. Anyone? Yes?
Swamiji, I'm Monisha.
Okay.
I'm Partho's other half.
Okay. So when he has done, you must do it sometime. No competition meant.
No competition.
Okay.
So my brother is in Singapore, Rohit Bhattacharya, and he asked us.
Oh, Rohit is your brother?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Nice to see
He
you.
said, make sure you're there.
And his parents are supposed to come?
Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, they are sitting here. Okay, okay. Thank you. They are known to me in Singapore.
So Swamiji, my question is, in this world where there is a cutthroat competition and we are working with people where there's jealousy and animosity, I mean, this is kind of a cutthroat competition to survive in this corporate world. So how do we imbibe Swamiji's training of love, empathy, and project that in a place where people may not have that same feeling?
That's a beautiful question, because this happens whoever in the corporate world, in your office. In house itself it happens, and what to talk about the offices, etc., where you do not know anybody, they are all outside families, but then they come, that cutthroat competition, you say, yes, that is happening. In that, the jealousy happens, the person may even harm you. He can go to an extent to harm you also. So all these things are happening. How do we put ourselves and bring Swamiji's love everyone? How do you bring that? You must understand, one distinguishingly a truth said by Vedanta. Vedanta says The truth is one, but it has got two shades. The first shade is Vyavaharik Satya. And the second shade is, I told you. Let me see the wrong person.
The real truth.
What is that word? I said.
Satyasya Satyam.
No. Yes, very good. She said, Paramarthika Satya. So Paramarthika Satya and Vyavaharik Satya is same thing, but two shades of meaning. What does that mean? I will quote the example of Sri Ramakrishna. Because in these cases, if you want to understand Vedanta, please read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He gives so beautifully. He says, God is in every being. Stop. Period. You have to love every being because God is there. Stop. Then the question comes, God is in tiger also. Should I go and embrace the tiger? No. So here only the Vyavaharik Satya comes. So in your dealings with everyday dealings with the people, you find there are good people, there are bad people. To you, they may be inherently not bad, but to you they are appearing as a bad. So what you should do? Should you go and handshake? Sri Ramakrishna says, when you meet them somewhere, eye to eye, then you ask, hello, how are you? You ask this. But don't keep connection with that person. Be away from that person. If he has come before you, you just wish him and be away. That is one way in the modern world we can practice. And that is very beautiful sayings of Sri Ramakrishna. Does this answer your question? Okay. Yes. Your name?
Gangadhar.
Gangadhar, okay.
So, the one that you were talking a little while ago about Swami, the empathy part.
Yes.
So today, if you look around and then see in every country, there's strife is going on, the killings are going on, and the army is pounding on the people, innocent are looking for these things. On the other side, you see the huge calamities are going on. For example, the other day, Thailand, and then
Indonesia,
and then several these things are also happening. We are here, living our daily life, and then maybe comfortable in our own little area, coming here. So what is that one's role should be, or what can one do in such situations?
Okay.
You are away from those things. You know that they are pretty bad, and then if you are there in that position, you might have been far away.
devastated.
So what can we do?
Yes, that's a good question. Because everywhere the calamities and then disruptions in the nature sources, we are seeing it. Day by day we are seeing. So I am living in a little my cocoon and I am comfortable. So I should go on like this? Or is there any other obligation for me to the society? Yes, there is an obligation on your part. In हिंदी में हम लोग बोलते थे, एक वचन है, तो उत्तर प्रदेश में बोलते हैं, आप किसी को मदद करना है समझ लीजिए. अब मदद कैसे करूं? तन मन धन से करो. तन मन धन से करो. Do you have dhan? You have wealth. I got $200. I can spare $10. तो धन से मैं करता हूं. You can help another person. And then tan man dhan. Then tan se you got a body. Suppose you are asked to be a volunteer and serve something place, and yes, you can go and serve the community. Tan se. If that is also not possible, can you do it man se? Have you ever felt for those Indonesian people? 6,000 people died by tsunami. If you have felt, did you sit before Sri Ramakrishna in your home? Did you pray to him, oh Lord, please stop this suffering of the people? Can you please be gracious to them? Have you ever prayed? That is possible for you. And in your own community, around you, if anything happens, you can use your tan and you can use your dhan also. But in cases where you are not able to go, in that case, at least your man should be there. That is what that we are talking about empathy. Yes? Yes?
Namaste.
Namaste.
My name is Prasanna. About the relevance of Swamiji for our current times and modern times.
Yes.
One thing I can think of is service to humanity
Mm.
to reach
Yes.
the organization goal.
Yes.
I think that also unifies and brings harmony, no
Correct.
matter which part of the world you are, wherever you are from.
Yes.
Serving others.
Serving others. I always quote this very good. Thank you point. Your point is very good. You see, in South African centers, we have got 7 centers. And in the centers I used to see, early morning, our children from age 6 to 20, their youth and children, they used to come to the ashram. And what they do, the elders will go, 1 or 2 persons, and they will give the bread, butter, everything. They will make slice. And each one every week, as in by rotation, they would go to a different distant place within the community only, within that area, and distribute this bread as morning breakfast to those people who do not have anything. What a wonderful service this one is. And our children, youngsters, why they don't want to come to the ashram? Because there is no service activity for them. If you only introduce service activity for them, they will gladly come there and they will participate. You ask any young boy to come and cut the bread and fruits and then let us go and hand it over to some poor area, they will easily come with you because we don't give that opportunity. So I have seen always these things are great help from the childhood onwards to develop yourself for feeling for others. Yes. Yes, please.
My name is Sally.
Okay.
And I'm an American.
Okay, it's all right. We welcome you.
And what I see in my milieu is people suffering so much from feelings of everything is out of control. I'm worthless. I don't know
What
how
to do.
be, what to do in this world. And I think of my own children too. And Swamiji has given to me and my family is this sense of courage based on nothing can take away that you are what you really are. This is yours. No one will take this away from you. It's that divinity. And if you stand on that, you cannot but succeed because nothing can happen to you.
That's a wonderful. Thank you. It's very good. She has pointed out very nicely. See, this is the core point of teachings of Swamiji, that you are divine. In what way the world can crush you? Nothing can be done because I am divine. So that feeling that comes, and when she knows that, she can easily direct her people who feel that upset, that nothing can be done by me. Swamiji says, everything is within you. All knowledge is within you. That's what he says. Take a plant small, put a seed, and the plant comes. And that plant, you hold it and pull it. Can it grow? It can't grow. You can pour water. You can keep the sunrise falling on that. But then the growth must come from within. So we are all like that. That divinity is within us. That divinity has to grow within us. Nobody can take. That's why teachers, gurus, and all people are all external, secondary to us. The growth must come from within. And that is a wonderful teaching of Swamiji. Yes. I am so happy that to get your participation in this discussion. And it was only a measure of thought-provoking. That's all. If I have kindled to your thoughts on this, so yes. Oh, before she thought that I'm going to close it. Okay. Okay. Yes.
My name is Shobha.
Shobha. Okay, tell me.
Maharaja, I heard in one of your talk a story you narrated about a couple, an old couple who visited Tirupati. I'd like to hear from you.
Oh, already you heard, he says?
I heard, but live.
Oh.
But
okay.
How modern that story is, I want to know.
Okay. Okay, that is a small story. Can I continue?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Because it's already 9, so I think many people would like to have prasad now. So, our South African devotees are more hungry than. So, you see, how do you worship God? Generally, we see God here, seated in the chapel, and there is a shrine. So you tell your children, hey, God is in that room, go to the shrine and bow down. We always say like that. So we come. So God is seen initially as outside of you. Slowly, slowly, when you progress in spiritual life, you start seeing God within you. God is there, yes, but He is inside me. Yacha kinchi jagat sarvam drishyate sruyate piva antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana stitaha. Where is Narayana? Narayana is in, you can say, Vaikuntha. Yes, Vaikuntha is there, nobody denies. But antar bahischa, inside and outside, sarvam vyapya, permeating everything, Narayana stitaha. So you must get this realization that God is within me. Once you realize God is within you, you have internalized, that is the term I use for that. When you have internalized the God within you, that God comes out. Earlier also He was out, but He was in the form of a picture. He was in the form of a statue. But now, when you have internalized Him, He comes out live, as you say, live. He is live before you. And He's sitting before you, talking with you, holding the hand of Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna is dancing on the flight of steps in Dakshineswar. He saw Kali first on the statue. Then he internalized her. When he used to do puja of Kali, he used to take all the flowers and put it on his head. Because Kali is here. He could not get up and go to the statue. Statue is outside. But when he internalized her, Kali came out from him and started dancing with him, talking to him. So this, explaining that, I told one incident that happened in Tirupati. You all must have known about Tirupati. It's one of the beautiful Vishnu Kshetra. So that Tirupati, Lord Venkateshwara is worshipped and he is Vishnu. So his name was Srinivas. So my father and mother went to Tirupati one day. And they said within next day, because from Madras to go to Tirupati and come back is only one day, a short distance. So we thought as a children, yes, next day parents will come back. But they did. They took 1 week. And after 1 week when they came, we sat with children, sat with their parents and asked why it is delayed. What happened to you? Then they said, when we were going by the bus, there was a landslide in one of the hills. You know, Tirupati is consisting of 7 hills. It's called the Saptagiri. So 7 hills are there. So the 7th hill top, Balaji is there. Balaji we call in North India, the Venkateshwara's statue is there. Now, when they were going in the middle of that hills, there was a landslide. So the bus could not go. So the bus has to come down to the lower portion and stay for some days so that the landslide clears, then they can go up. Now, the bus driver and conductor, they are turning the bus. One couple, elderly couple, they got down from the bus and they were standing there. Even the other passengers, including my father and mother, they explained to them, please come into the bus, let us go back. They said, no, we shall not go because we have taken a determination in our mind. Unless we have darshan of Balaji, we are not returning. So come what may. These bears will come in the night. They will pounce upon you. It's harmful here. Don't stay. The conductor and driver were repeatedly pleading with them. They said, nothing to him. Come what may, let us die, but we will not go back. Unless we have darshan of Balaji. So my parents came. Along with the others, they have come. Those couple, they were left there. What happened? Nobody knows. After 5 days, when the thing was made ready, then the bus went. So our parents also went in that. And when the surprising thing was, in one of the inns, where our parents were staying, there this old lady and old man was sitting. So seeing them, my father got very joyful, and he went to him, "Sir, you got down on that day from bus? How did you come before our reaching? Did you walk?" He said, "No, man. I will tell you what happened." Then he narrated an incident. He was standing there, sun was setting, and some strange, eerie sounds are coming in that forest. In those days, Tirupati was not as today modern, and lot of forest was there. And then we didn't know what to do, but we are only taking the name of Lord Balaji. We are only, "Hey Venkateshwara, please protect me." That is what we are talking to him. And then on the other side of the landslide, one small bus came. From that, one driver got down. And he's shouting, young man, he's shouting at me, "Why are you standing there? Go back, go back. This is a dangerous place." But then I told him, "I am not going back, come what may, unless I see darshan of Balaji." Then that fellow got angry on us. And he came, dar, like that, he came down, and then he came up this side and shouted at me and my wife. We said we are not going. He looked at us, some pause. Suddenly he came nearer to me and picked me from my leg and then put me on his shoulder, and he started walking down the hills. And he went up the hills and put me in the car. Then he said, "Sit here. I'll bring your wife also." Then he came again and put this lady on his shoulder, and he took her bus. And then they reached the top, Tirupati. Now Tirupati they have reached. This lady is a very poor lady. She had one small chain. She was so happy that this driver came and saved them. So she wanted to give something as a gift to him. What she can give? Only the small chain. She took the chain and said, "My dear son, this is what I have. Please accept it and give it to your wife." He said, "Mother, my wife, to speak to the truth, she is very, very rich lady. I am a poor, of course. I grew up as taking the cattle for grazing in the forest. But then my wife is not like that. She is very rich lady. If I give this chain, she will just throw it. So keep this chain with you." He said, No. If she doesn't work, if you say you are poor, why don't you take? I want to put it on your neck. So she put the chain on his neck, and he put it, and he was looking. "How I am looking," he said. When you have new clothes, you want to take photos. You take selfies nowadays. So he said, "How I look?" Then he said, "Hey, you look like Krishna," she said. And he has gone. Next day, after taking bath, etc. in the pond, the Pushkarini, they went for Mangala Arati. And the Pujari comes, opens the doors, and allows them inside. There was no public there, because no buses are coming, no public, only Pujari and this couple. And they are seeing Lord Balaji with their fullest concentration and satisfaction. They are enjoying the scene of Balaji, Mangalarati. And when the Pujari was taking the lamp to the neck side, they saw the chain that yesterday they gave is there. They were stunned. And this lady and the man started crying and asked this Pujari, "Is this chain your temple chain?" In order to get clarification. That Pujari said, "Hey, yesterday only I decorated Lord, but I did not put this chain." And he took the chain and he saw it. "No, it's very cheap gold. We don't have this type of chain. But how this chain has come here? I did not put it." He was stunned. Then they narrated yesterday's incident. Then the Pujari also cried. This was the incident. You see how Lord, when you internalize the Lord, for your benefit, He comes outside and He helps you. Did He not help? Sri Ramakrishna helped. He passed away in 1886. He passed away. And after how many years He has appeared to people? To our devotees. There are devotees who have seen Thakur.
It happened in Ranchi also.
Yes, Ranchi. Holy Mother appeared before Swami Shantananji in Ranchi.
That incident, Thakur.
Please tell that incident. That will be very inspiring. Please tell.
That.
Here.
No, Maharaj knows. I'm sure.
Okay, repeat that.
That what happened actually, a devotee, he was the auditor, and he lived in Bangladesh, now Bangladesh, in the East Bengal. So he was the auditor. By chance, he came to Dakshinesha, and he met only once for a few minutes to Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshinesha. And he went back. If we meet some great people, what would be the impact in our life? And person like Sri Ramakrishna. So he returned back to East Bengal, and afterwards the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna came out, and they have a study circle, they made a study circle, and they started reading this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. After some time, he was transferred. He was transferred to India, and he was posted to Ranchi. There is a colony, still now it is there, what is called that?
AG colony.
AG colony.
Accountant General's
colony. In that colony, he got a bungalow, and he started living there. The group broke, naturally. He came along there with his family, definitely. So he used to stay there. One morning, it was winter morning, around 6 o'clock. Ranchi is just like in Bay Area, There's lots of cold, winter, fog, everything is there. So winter, it was not totally morning, it is a little bit hazy with fog. So he opened the window and he saw a person is standing on his lawn, maybe 30 feet away from the window, in a peculiar dress, in a sannyasi dress, in his hand a kamandalu, the pot, typical pot the monks they use for water, and in one hand there is a tongue, and in head there is a turban, and in that way he is standing. But face is looking like Sri Ramakrishna. So he was a little bit surprised. How did this man came here in this early morning in a peculiar dress, and face it resembles like Sri Ramakrishna, it looks like Sri Ramakrishna, what happens? Then he was just looking, then this person who was standing outside started telling, why have you stopped the story of
this place?
This place. Sri Ramakrishna never uttered me or mine or I. So why have you stopped the story of this place? Then he could understand, wow, it is Sri Ramakrishna. So he ran first outside, but could not find anybody. It is real.
And then onwards he started reading the Gospel again.
So it is fact.
Yes. So such things we see. So I am telling you, if you have internalized your personal God, that personal God will come outside and help you and talk to you. You can do all these things. That is why it is very necessary for us to interact. This is what the thing I told in that San Diego's lecture. That's what she was quoting. Yes, you can.
You can stop now. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for this beautiful spiritual and intellectual talk. And I thank you all for participating in this beautiful gathering. I offer my pranam to Maharaj for coming San Jose Center, because generally we organize lecture for the guest Swamis in Berkeley. But I am very happy that Maharaj, the schedule was such, Maharaj agreed to come to our San Jose Center, and he delivered this beautiful talk. So I offer my pranam. So few announcements. Durga Puja in Berkeley Center. Durga Puja will be on 21st October, Sunday at 3 p.m. And here in San Jose, 28th October, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So I request you all to attend with your family, friends and acquaintances to these pujas. We have another very important announcements. Krishna, do you think that we shall announce this right now? Not yet. Okay. Okay. So the announcement is announced.
The date is not confirmed, but you can.
10th. We can fix it 10th.
You can confirm the schedule for 10th. But logistics are still.
Okay. So keep in touch. We have announced in our program in First Unitarian Church, Oakland, that we will have a Swami Vivekananda pilgrimage. So we are planning to organize that pilgrimage on 10th November, Saturday, 10th November. It will be the whole day pilgrimage where Swami Vivekananda visited and stayed in Bay Area with all history and its background. So we shall take, it is a bus tour. So we are planning to hold it on 10th November. So please keep in touch. We shall definitely inform you, and those whose address we do not have, please write your address for getting our monthly bulletin and information. Thank you very much again, and I request you all to have prasad after this, and then you leave. Don't leave without taking any prasad. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.